What's up, everybody? It's Friday. It's a beautiful day today. Wow. After the weather we've had the last few days, today is beautiful. After that storm came through yesterday afternoon, it cooled down a ton here. So, wow, what a difference. Prayers to all the people there in Illinois because that sucker hit hard down there. So, there's some really bad tornadoes and stuff like that down there. They got it way worse than we did. Same with Wisconsin. But let's get through that intro and we'll get right to what this thumbnail is talking about. It was Christmas here, early Christmas. Be right back. So we got through that intro. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this. There's tons of chainsaws going on in this area. There's lots of broken limbs and trees and stuff like that. So I can hear the chainsaws on the other side of these walls. Sometimes I've heard some of my videos when my neighbor's been out cutting the grass, and you can hear the lawnmower humming in the background. So if you're hearing chainsaws, no, you're not going crazy. No, it's not your TV. It's coming from here. So, like I said, it was kind of like an early Christmas around here. So a couple of things transpired over this week. And before we get to what's in the thumbnail, I need to say a huge shout out and thank you to my buddy Papa Z, Mr. Rick Zink. He left me some kind words on the back of this shop card. If you haven't checked out his channel, go over there and check out his channel. He is a really, really nice guy and definitely somebody that I am very much looking forward to shaking their hand and meeting in person. And hopefully that will happen if he shows up for Acme this year or another model show that we might travel to. So if you're familiar with Rick, his thing is when he sends his shop cards, got one that catastrophically broke, but he sends you his little skeletons. So I have one of these things that I've started to paint and detail, but every once in a while in people's videos you'll see these things hanging. So really cool. This is his trademark, but he sent me a little kit. He knows that I've been looking at getting into some of these smaller scale stuff, especially with the passing of a good friend of all of ours, Scott Ridley. Scott perfected the art of doing a lot of these 1/43rd, 1/32nd scale kits. Phenomenal model builder. And I know there's going to be a group build coming up sometime in the future. There's talking about doing some sort of a memorial build for Scott, like a small scale thing. And we were talking about that one night even on the AMC show. And so Rick was very kind enough to send me this kit. I've been looking for this kit for a little bit. This is really cool. I have the little Corvette, and so I want to get some more of these small scale kits and eventually sit down and build these. But this one here, I think we're going to save for the Scott Ridley build. So thank you, Papa Z. That is really cool. I wanted this kit for a while. That's really awesome. Thank you, sir. From the bottom of my heart, I really, really appreciate that. So, like I said, it's like Christmas around here. So, a while back, I had the pleasure to just kind of sit and BS with Lucas C, aka Matt, and he was telling me about some of the resonance projects that he was gonna revamp and work on, and wanted to know if we could talk on the phone and pick each other's brains and mainly talk about dusters. And so he figured if he was going to redo his kit to convert a duster over into a 73 to 76 model year, he was going to switch what kit it adapted to. Prior to this new kit that he has been so gracious to send me, I don't want, gotta make sure I seeing the address because I got to keep that private. He sent me 2 kits that he's got available now. This first one here is the 75 to 76 Duster conversion kit. So you got everything in this kit to convert the new 72 Duster into a 75 or 76. This would be like your feather duster, all that stuff, your gold duster stuff in there. And then this one here is your 73 to 74. So basically the hoods are the same, the taillight panels are the same, the grills are the biggest change. And for the real car, you are going to see a difference in pretty much the gap on the front bumpers. So as the cars got to be newer, the crash impact stuff got to be a little bit more bulkier, a little bit more obnoxious is what I would say. Every one of those cars that we've done in real life, we've took those mounts off, we have put the other mounts on, we've took all the impact crap out of it, took the big bumpers off, the rubber snubbers off the ends of the bumpers. We get rid of all that crap because they just look hideous, but the bumpers are spaced way out too. This kit looks really good. We're gonna get one of these out of the bag. I mean, it's very crisp, clean resin here. So I'm excited. He messaged me the other day and he said, hey, he says, tracking number for you. And I'm like, okay, what the heck is that all about? And then we're kind of chatting and he goes, you better get more kits. So I thought, okay. So I went and got a couple more kits for these products. I do have one on the bench now. I just, in fact, opened it up for the Glory Days of Drag Racing group build. And we are putting Josh Reese's big block Mopar and transmission in that kit. I'm kind of thinking, because I really want to get to cutting one of these things in there and grafting it in there, I think we need to do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo and pick which year we want to do. And we're going to adapt it to this A-Buddy build / Glory Days of Drag Racing build right now. And then that way there we can also give Lucas some feedback on how well the kit adapted. So being that this is somewhat new to a little bit more modification maybe to some, and maybe some want to build this, we're going to film me modifying the body to change the years. Some of this, 90% of this kit should go fairly easy and fairly smooth. The biggest thing that I think people are going to really have to show patience with is changing out the rear taillight panel. But with the 72 Duster kit, this kit is going to be a much better, lot more accurate than Luca's original kit, where you were converting over the Dart. So the 75 Dart, the whole fenders, all that stuff is incorrect. The trunk, all that stuff is not correct to what a Duster is. So Luca has went over and above and beyond on taking advantage of a new retooled 72 Duster to start as his base, and then remade some of his parts. He had to make some changes to the hood. He had to do a lot of different stuff to get this thing to be more in tune with today's builder that wants to make stuff as accurate as possible. So I have a feeling, just from looking at these parts and talking with Matt, that these parts are going to really bring the authenticness to this Duster when you're switching the years, the model years. So expect to see more on that very soon. So like I said, I think being we're home today, we're going to get cracking on that today. So I do want to show you something on the bench update, because everybody's asking about the Tri-5 stuff. So let's stop this camera, move it over to the bench, and we'll talk about that next. Alrighty, so everybody knows that this was the second Tri-5 that I said we were going to get cracking on, and I have been told by many people that this kit is going to be very challenging, and they are not wrong. I've opened this thing up, and as you can see here, this is old tooling, and this is what we're mainly trying to show here, is that look at the flash on this thing. Again, this is old tooling. So as modelers, you got to be a little patient, you got to be a little crafty, you got to get a little dirty here, and you're going to have to do some body work on this thing. Other than that, the detail in like the side panels and stuff that you're going to bare metal foil, all looks really good. I mean, I'm not seeing like any real big, I mean, there's a little bit of a suck in there. There's a couple ripples here in the top of the quarters. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it right there. You can see there's like some pin marks or some little pockets that got to be puttied. So this thing is definitely going to need some body work. I'm going to say this is the only thing that really drives me nuts the most, is when you have these big stubs like right here on the edge where the chrome trim is. So you're going to want to take your time. I would probably scribe this thing out, and so that when you do finally go to chop it off the rest of the way, you're not wrecking the trim. The mold lines are definitely going to need a lot of attention here. There's a lot of flash here on the back. Kind of surprised they put 2 door supports here. You got windshield supports. You got 1 door support here. I'm not seeing any markings for a door support that's missing there. And there's nothing back here supporting that. But remarkably, it's not bad. I mean, I'm thinking it looks very proportionate, well, to what a real car would be. But like I said, it's going to take some body work. I'm not bashing on this kit. I was very well aware that this is old tooling. This is the old Revell monogram tooling. But again, the box art sucked you in, and definitely I wanted to show you that before I start doing any kind of work to this, and people think, well, you know, he's showing us mock-up, that body must be really good. I would say the body is really good, but it's going to take some work. Like I said, there is some killer flash, especially on this side here. So, and then the body lines, the mold lines are really pronounced in this thing. So same with the parts. The chrome tree is really bad, but there is a lot of really good parts in this thing. A lot of detailed parts in here. Some of the stuff's got some flash on it, but for the most part, a lot of that stuff you do see the body lines in there. The motor stuff looks really good. The suspension stuff looks really good. The chassis is kind of unique here too. To see it split up like that, compared to, like I said, I guess I just don't remember. I know I never had this, but I don't remember building I built the 55 with the doors open years ago, the Fiesta kit, but I don't remember the chassis being this detailed, but maybe it was. But nonetheless, we're going to go for it. I think it's going to be great. The other thing that I'm not, big on, and I don't remember if the tires were that dorky back in the day. They're very disfigured. They've got a really bad concave down the center. But the beauty of today, we have lots of options for wheels, tires, motors, stuff like that. So I'm still looking forward to this kit, especially for what we're going to do with it. And it's just going to take some work. And I just thought I better show everybody that this thing is going to require some patience. So don't be scared of it. Just it'll probably be a good kit for everybody to learn how to do some sanding and some filing. So anyhow, let's flip this camera around and end this video. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for this video. Remember, if you're looking for these products, go over to the Lucas C Facebook page. I think he's got a Lucas C products page as well. If you've got questions about these things, ask respectfully. Somebody will answer, whether it's Matt or other people that have used his products. Remember to, I have a super soft toothbrush that I dedicate for washing parts, scrubbing parts. I recommend you, especially with resin cast parts, you soak them in some warm water with some soap, and then not hot water, warm, lukewarm, and then scrub them really good. Let them air out for a while, and then start doing your fitment process, right? So then I would go from that, start fitting it on the bodies and trimming and sanding and doing whatever type of body work you want to do, right? No product is perfect. We showed that with the 57 wagon over here. And then from there, I would scrub it again, let it air out once you're happy with it, and I would then start my paint, my primers, my Bondos, whatever, get all the dust off of them from fitting them. But go over there, check them out. These are going to be awesome. Like I said, I need to find out about a couple other of his products that I would like to try as well, and especially the Monza nose. But definitely going to want more of these things. There has been a big void for many years, many decades, on the 73 to 76 kits. And I think now that Round 2 has released this 72 that is retooled with a better chassis than the original one, Matt making the decision to go and redo his tooling to fit that versus the 75 Dart is going to make for a much accurate, much better build. And you will see more of this very soon as we try to put this on the kit. We're going to actually start today. So I got to figure out which one we're going to do here. Like I said, we're using Josh Reese's motor in the kit. So I'm thinking I might use the 75 to 76 kit first and create a feather duster, which was a King of the Street KOS car from back in the day. I think I have the article on that car, and we're going to probably do that. I think that would be kind of cool to make a feather duster, and we'll put that big block in there and all that stuff that we said already. It will be an A-Body Buddy build. It will be a Glory Days of Drag Racing build, and it will be part of the Super 70s build all in one. And it's something that I want to do. So expect to see another video very soon on us test fitting these parts and what it's going to take and how my approach is going to be to get that rear taillight panel in there. So I'm looking forward to getting going on that today and showing you fine folks how simple this can be with a little bit of patience. So remember, if you like this stuff, please give me a sub, give me a like, leave me a comment. I really appreciate it. Shop cards went out today for those that requested shop cards, so give it a good week and you should see your shop card, and I appreciate it all. So thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of your day, and we will see you on the next video. Peace out. Somebody say A-Body? Whoa.